Good evening. Peter Mahegan is on assignment. Mike Lynch will be joining me live from Fenway Park. For a while, late Sunday afternoon, it looked as if the Red Sox were about to join the rest of us as spectators watching California represent the American League in the World Series. But Boston's miraculous finish in Game 5 brought the championship series back to Fenway. And now many Boston fans feel the momentum is on their side, even though the Sox trail in this series 3-2. Mike Lynch covered that wild weekend in California and is live now at Fenway Park. Mike, how do the players feel now? Do they feel they've got the momentum? Are they feeling optimistic about the rest of the series?
I think there's no doubt about it. Many of them felt, Mary, that they would not be putting the uniform on until next February when they went down to Winter Haven. I've never seen this club look so loose and so confident as they did during batting practice. A lot of the times trying to get interviews before the game, it's like pulling teeth. The players are just so nervous and concentrating on the game. Tonight, everybody was ready, willing, and able to talk, and a little bit cocky, but that's the way they should be because they've got to win 2 games. If the Angels win 1 out of 2, it's all over.
How about the field conditions, Mike? There was some concern that the weather might stop the game, but that's long gone. But how about the field itself? What's it look like?
Oh, the field is absolutely magnificent. Joe Mooney has to be the best groundskeeper in all of baseball. I'd love to have him taking care of my backyard for me. This place just looks sensational. People were lined up for tickets today. They didn't even anticipate that there was any type of rain out or anything like that. The tarp stayed on the field to about 5:45 tonight, and then it was pulled off the field. Batting practice started about 6 o'clock. As a matter of fact, the Angels are hitting right now. And while the Angels hit, that means John McNamara is available, and he's standing by with Mike Dowling right now. Michael?
Okay, thanks very much, Mike Lynch. John McNamara is standing by with me. We're just talking still about that Sunday afternoon affair, which everyone will be talking about for a long time. It's probably easier for your team to build on that game rather than those guys over in the other dugout. They have to forget about it completely and go right back to work.
Well, both of us do, really, Mike, because it was the same emotional pitch riding into Sunday when they beat us in the 9th, or tied us in the 9th and beat us. But we had to forget it, and which we did. And I think the people are a little excited here tonight.
They are. I'm not sure who they're cheering. I think Dave Henderson came out of the dugout, so they're giving him a nice round of applause. Let me ask you about your pitcher tonight, Oil Can Boyd. He's going on just a couple of days' rest. Do you ask him, say, the 5th or 6th inning if he's tired, or how long do you go with him?
Absolutely, just like with each and every one of our pitchers that have started. Roger on Saturday night, Bruce on Sunday, and now Oil Can on Tuesday. And we've already sat down and talked. I want to know the truth. If they start to get tired, they all level with me. The only one that we weren't successful with was Roger, and you know, I believe that young man. Bruce didn't want to come out of the ball game, and he said, "But my arm is getting a little tired." You did a good job. We're down 3-2 and have a chance to win it. I want the same thing from Oil Can. Everybody's available tonight. I want to be back in this uniform on this field tomorrow night.
Can, if he comes out in the 6th, Steve Crawford your first guy, or have you made that decision? He pitched well the other night, obviously.
He pitched well the other night, but he was up 4 times during that ball game, and probably the guy that come out of there early, and early I say because I was criticized by a local columnist about Nipper, but Al Nipper will be used. He's our most rested pitcher and competent, and when I say early, that's early in the ball game to the 5th and 6th, and if it comes down the 7th, the guys that did the job down there, the shortmen, are going to get the baseball.
Okay, John, as these fellows walk in front of us, we're going to wish you good luck tonight, and hopefully a 10th man in the stands is going to play a big factor tonight.
Well, we hope so. I think enough was said and was heard about the fan reaction in Anaheim, and I think the fans here in Boston realize that, and they will get involved.
Okay, John, thanks very much. Good luck to you tonight. Game 6 tonight. We'll have all the action for you right here. Let's send it back to Mary in the studio. Mary?
All right, Michael, thank you. As the excitement builds inside Fenway Park, there's still plenty of activity outside the ballpark. Ron Allen is out there live now. Ron, what's the scene in Yawkey Way at this point?
Well, Mary, I remember being there when the Patriots were winning it all and the Celtics were winning it all earlier this year. But there is something very special about the team that plays here on Yawkey Way, and that's been here for 75 years. You can see the Yes We Can crowd over there. It's a kind of a warm October night out here, and it's kind of a carnival atmosphere. There are vendors and people walking around in shirt sleeves. One sports writer I was talking to earlier described this as the real Red Sox crowd. You can hardly contain the exuberance. Jack, you've been a fan for about 40 years. What do you think about the game tonight?
Oh, we're going to take it all away. Ain't no play. There's oil in that can. There's oil in that can.
Personally, how long have you been a Red Sox fan?
1967 World Series stubs right here.
Really?
Right here, yeah!
There is no doubt in this crowd that there will be a Game 7 here tomorrow night. I think they say it better than I ever could. Live from Fenway, Ron Allen, back to you, Mary.
Okay, Ron, you're a good sport. And coming up next, Clark Booth sums up the incredible weekend at Anaheim. We'll be right back.
Did you ever see the inside of one of these? A trailer truck like this pulls up to TJ Maxx about every 72 hours. Loaded, and I mean loaded, with enough fresh merchandise to completely stock 3 or 4 entire specialty stores. And on every item you save 20 to 60%. So every week at TJ Maxx, there are about 10,000 great new fashions to choose from, which means what you don't find today will probably roll in tomorrow.
You get the max for the minimum at TJ Maxx.
Once upon a time, millions of years ago, mighty dinosaurs roamed the earth. The ground shook beneath their feet. The air was filled with their cries. They're back.
The return of the dinosaurs at the Museum of Science. They move, they roar, and they're back.
I deserve a little fun. I work hard. WROR is the only radio station that understands what it's like for me to work. WROR gives prizes that make it easier for me to work. Imagine free daycare, transportation, house cleaning, prizes that save me time. That's my idea of fun.
Ellen Logan, you've just won free daycare for a month.
That's me.
Have a little fun at work with 98.5 WROR.
Well, come on over, baby. Whole lot of dealing going on. Your Toyota dealer has a whole lot of value going on.
Right now, dealers are rolling in the new 87s. From Toyota, the #1 selling import. See the all-new Tercel. See the all-new FX16. See the new Camry and Camry Wagon. See your Toyota dealer fast while he still has something to say.
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of dealing going on. Who could ask for anything more?
See your Toyota dealer.
Yeah.
Well, long about the ninth inning on Sunday afternoon, nobody in New England thought that there'd be a Game 6 or a Game 7 here at Fenway Park, and we've got it, and this place is just jumping with enthusiasm and anticipation. But there is a downside. There is a possibility, after all, that the Red Sox could lose this game tonight or tomorrow night, and then the season would be over. But what a weekend we had. 3 games in Anaheim. We're a lucky group, New England fans, and as Clark Booth tells us in this report, New England fans have a lot to look back on this past weekend.
These were 3 games in Anaheim that we will wax upon again and again. 3 games that will take a place of prominence in the rich folklore of the Boston Red Sox. There was much that was bizarre, like all of the chaos that ensued when Doug DeCense hit this cue shot in Game 3.
Hits the bag, base hit, and a run coming to the plate, and Buckner throws. Safe is the call.
Doug DeCense's cue shot befuddled the Red Sox defense, the Angel base runners, all of the half-dozen umpires on the premises, and both managers. Was Wally Joyner out at the plate?
I believe so. I wouldn't have went out and argued. I don't argue on plays that I don't think I'm right. If I thought he was safe, I would never said a word. I thought he was out. That's why I went to the umpire and started to argue with him.
Replays proved nothing conclusively. Another fine example of the shakiness of that technology. Whatever, the main point of the contretemps was the fact that it was the Angels who had been slighted, who used the passions thus raised productively. Logically, it should have been a great boon to the Bostons. The Angels had lost the run and their manager, while Oil Can Boyd, who had been on the brink of eviction himself, had gotten nicely off the hook. But it was the Angels' show from there on, proving again that logic has little to do with baseball.
To deep right center field, and that one.
All of which set up games 4 and 5, Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. And they should be seen as one entity, one complete, fabulous melodrama in 2 acts. First came the fall, and then the redemption. when Jim Rice mangled Gary Pettis' drive, thus snaring defeat from the jaws of victory Saturday night, it was as if all the torment of Red Sox history was rising at last to bring them down, much as had been expected all season. What swiftly followed only confirmed all of that wonderfully hazy nonsense, and it seemed particularly cruel.
And he throws it inside and hits him to tie the game.
When the ball maybe slipped out of his hand, there wasn't a whole lot of space for me to get out of the way, and I wasn't exactly going to try to break my neck to get out of the way, but I'll take it. We were lucky, I was lucky, and it gave us a chance to come back later against a great team which has done the same thing the entire season.
They had spent the entire season arguing that they had rid themselves of the ghosts that have haunted the franchise the last 7 decades, only to come to this. Their history, it seemed, had been fulfilled once again.
Nobody felt any worse anywhere than I felt. And you always say, blow it off and come to the next day. And I try to do that. And tomorrow's a new day. The sun's going to rise tomorrow, and that's the way you got to think. But for that night, it hurts like hell.
Roger, you've heard all the stories about the hard luck of the Red Sox over the centuries, it seems. Do you see this fitting in here, and do you understand that in that context?
No, those myths are gone. You know, we played. We're playing hard and we're playing well. And like I said, you got a 3-run lead. You don't want to lose it, but if we just lost it, as simple as that, and we're going to bounce back tomorrow.
Brave talk, to be sure, but it seemed hollow. They dearly do want to win one for the Cowboy out here. They came to the park for Game 5 Sunday, and there was a passion in this Southern California den that you have never seen before. What they got was a gem.
To center field and deep and carrying. And gone, but just off his glove for a home run.
When, later, this fairly ridiculous Rob Wilfong bouncer off Bob Stanley orchestrated 2 more Angel runs, there seemed no more doubt that the gremlins of Red Sox tradition were ordaining the unkindest cut yet. But as Mark Twain once observed, it is a long, long road that has no turning.
To left field, left center, and deep. Pettis goes back, leaps, and she's gone.
When I hit the home run, I think this ball club really came back again together as a team, and we played this way all year long. And it was just something that we definitely needed at the time, somebody to hit a ball out of the ballpark or get us closer, and I think that got us going.
To left field, and deep, and down he goes back, and it's gone. Unbelievable.
I knew I had to, you know, reach down deep into myself and at least put the ball in play and give us a chance. And I got a ball I could hit out of the ballpark, and it went out of the ballpark. It was just an emotional kind of thing. It was one of the biggest home runs I've ever hit.
The character of this ball club emerged again today, and by not giving up, not quitting. We said that, stated that all along throughout the summer, and I think if we had any doubters, I think it's dispelled now.
I know you've never heard this before, but it's never over till it's over.
Now came an hysterical siege, baseball at its glorious best. California tied it when a great slide by Rupert Jones beat a great throw by Dwight Evans. Somehow Boston pitcher Shag Crawford, lightly regarded and little used, bore on. Operatic notes were struck again and again.
Aaron goes, it's hit in the air to deep left field, right to the fence, and he makes the catch. 4 for 4 today. And Romero hits one to deep left field, and Romero, and what a catch by Millie! And the runners have to get back.
It was fairly ironic that basic little routine baseball elements, a hit batsman, a fine bunt, a sacrifice fly, would in the end decide it. But then that is baseball at its best. It was suggested to Reggie Jackson that it must have been a joy just to be out there.
Yeah, but there's no joy in Mudville. There never was. So I don't really look at it like that. I throw it away and forget it, try to get rid of it, and, you know, to hell with it.
Gedman's a bum, Henderson's a bum, Baylor's a bum. You know, so I just have to think of it like that and go back and beat them, do our best to beat them Tuesday night.
I've never played an